Hey everybody, Rick's here. Hey, I just got this email from a subscriber, and it was a question about why I spray painted the wood slice white, and then I sprayed it black and sanded it, and not exactly in that order, but the question was mostly why did I paint it white? And so what I want to do in this video is I just want to touch on that one aspect of the process that I did in a couple of other videos as to why am I spray painting the wood or substrate white as opposed to, let's say, and this was not in the email, but as opposed to leaving the background with the wood grain and then the brownish color and so forth. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate exactly why I've chosen in several of my videos to spray paint either the substrate or the image itself on the transfer paper white before I transfer it. So stick around. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this stiff brown cardboard, whatever you want to call it. It's usually an insert that we use in some of our packages of the quick transfer paper to give it a little more stability. And this is going to be our surface that we're going to transfer to. So this could be your wood slice. This could be fabric, it could be glass, it could be whatever it is, but it's got this brownish color to the background, and so I think it will serve really well in demonstrating why at times I like to add white to my image before I actually transfer it, and I think this will demonstrate the whole process and the reason why very clearly. Let's just hope for that. Okay, so what I've done here is I've taken and got this Los Angeles Lakers image, and as you can see that I printed it mirrored. You want to print it mirrored because you're going to turn it over and glue it, and then that way it will be right side up. And I did it on the same thing on two separate sheets of paper. Now, I always have to say this in my videos now because some people mistakenly think that I'm just printing on paper that hasn't, that they buy at the store, and that's not the fact. Okay, so let me explain. This is regular printer paper. It is printer paper you buy at the store or whatever. However, it has a coating on here, and sometimes you can just make out a little bit of a sheen in the light. But there is a coating on here which turns this paper into our Rick's Conduit quick transfer paper. And for now, we are currently making this available. You can go down into the description area of the video. There should be a link. It's to our website called ricksconduit.com. And there you go to the shop section and find quick transfer paper, and you can place an order for the paper that's already treated to allow for quick transferring, which you're going to see demonstrated once again in this video. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut these down into more manageable sizes. You don't have to do this, it's just I'm just choosing to do it. No point in gluing more than I need to. All right, so we'll get this out of the way, and I'll do the same with this one. So now I have identical images. And for the second question, I'm often asked, it is recommended to use laser printer only. If you use an inkjet printer, you won't get as good a quality. You may even have problems peeling it off. I do have a couple of videos out there that can show you some tricks on how you can use an inkjet printer, but I highly recommend that you use a laser, buy a laser, or go take your images down to a local Staples or something with your paper and have them print it for you. You'll get the best results using a laser printer. All right, but there is many ways of getting around things like that, but that's not the purpose of this video. Okay, another thing I want to bring out too that I do often, and that is I will take this, let's say Krylon Crystal Clear or maybe the Mod Podge clear coating or something like that, and from a distance above, I'll give it a very light dusting of the spray to let it dry. And the reason I would do that is because if you use too much gel medium or whatever glue you're going to use, being very, very wet, and a lot of ooze out and stuff, you can actually cause your image to smear because you just used way too much. But if you give it this light coating of the clear coat, well then you will not have to worry about that one bit. The clear coat keeps everything nice and protected so that you can ooze out all the glue or Mod Podge or whatever you're using out, and you won't smear your image. That's a tip, okay? If you're going to paint one of these white, as I'm going to do, well, you can do that in lieu of using the clear coat because it's going to do the same thing. It's going to give you a protection. So here's what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to leave the other one alone, but I'm going to take one of these, and it's going to be for the purpose of spraying it white. Now, you can spray the image white, or you can spray the surface white. I've done it both ways. If you want the whole surface white, then you can just spray the surface, let it dry before you transfer to it. But if you want to just make the white background only where the image happens to be, then spray the image itself. And another thing too, what I wanted to point out is why I'm using this image. If you'll notice, the letters are all white. So this is going to clearly demonstrate why I've chosen to spray paint some of these white, whereas other times I may not. So let's get right into spray painting that white, and then we will move on from there. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone into the garage and I grabbed a can of white flat protective enamel. You know, I haven't tested all the white paints available, but just get a white paint that'll dry and, you know, and it's white, and I guess that should be good enough. And do it in a well-ventilated area, not like me, who is doing it in his studio, so that when his wife gets home later on today and she smells it, she'll throw a fit and be mad at me because I didn't do this outside in the garage. I'm just a big brat, what can I tell you? But I don't really want to be in that 90-degree garage right now. It is really hot outside, as it is all over the planet right now. It seems like we're in the United States. Today's like August, I don't know, 12th, I think. I'm not sure, 2023. So it's really hot. It's been hot for some days now. Okay, and you want to do it, you know, do it far enough away. Now, in this case, I did protect it with the clear coat, which is overkill because I'm already going to do this. But now I know that the wetness of this paint can't really affect this, so, you know, I don't have to be as careful. But normally you'll do it from a distance so that it kind of hits it and dries pretty quick. And so here we go, okay? And I'm more concerned about the white area of the image, but you can just do the whole thing, and that way it will just, you know, brighten up the colors around it. And of course, anywhere you get white outside the image, it's going to show up white in the transfer too, and so you'll see that. Okay, I think that's white enough. So we'll go ahead and let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to start the transfer on the other one. So let me move this out of the way. Smells like napalm in the morning there. Whew. That's pretty strong. All right, so we're going to use this brown surface here. And let's start with this. Okay, now the glue that I'm going to use is simply my gel medium, which is what I prefer to use and often use. And I need myself a nice brush. I'll get one out of the water here and just rinse it off as best I can. All right, that should work. All right, so, whoops, the sponge came off, look at that. These things are so cheap, I should just throw them away, but I hate wasting things. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it. If it doesn't come off the stick here, I'm just gonna apply it to the image. Okay, and because well, that really is not gonna stay on, is it? I'll have to hold the sponge. Because I already pre-sprayed the image with that clear coat that I showed you, the Krylon clear coat, I can put this right on the image itself if I want to control where the glue will show up, because it will leave kind of a film. That's what gel medium does. But anyway, we'll just, you know what, I'm going to throw this away. I'm not going to do that twice. And let's go ahead and apply this onto the substrate. Now this is putting it directly on here. No white paint or anything like that. All right. And get my brayer. Another thing I do, by the way, you've probably seen me do this in other videos, is I'll go get a clear plastic thing like this so I don't get anything on my brayer, you know, from ooze out. Let it ooze out onto the plastic itself. Okay. All right, so now this shouldn't take too long to dry because the cardboard and the paper both are very porous, and so it's going to absorb really fast and it's going to cause it to dry. Now, as far as my image that was painted, still a little on the tacky side, so let's give that a little bit of a dry so we can speed up the process here, and then I can show you that transfer as well. This should only take a few seconds. It doesn't take long to dry the paint, especially with a heat gun. All right, let's see. Okay, that feels like it's dry paint and it's curling up my image and everything. No big deal. All right, and I need another brush. Let me go grab one. All right, this one here, because I got white paint everywhere, what I might want to do here is I think I'm going to trim off anything that I don't want to put white on the paper there, or on the cardboard. All right, so I just cut out the exact image itself, so that's the only thing that will show up here. And I am going to, once again, I'm just going to coat that with the glue, the gel medium, whatever it is you're using. Whatever glues paper will work. All right, that's messy enough. Okay, and now I'm going to put that on here. Make sure that's folded out as well. Nice and clean. All right, and again, Put my plastic on top. See how it oozes out? Doesn't get on my roller. It's on the plastic thing. So that's what I like about using the clear plastic. And I don't know where I got this. It's just a thick plastic thing. I'm not sure where it came from, but you know, whatever that will keep your roller off of the paper itself while you're pressing it, so you don't get glue all over it and stuff, because I get all kinds of stuff all over it and I have to clean it all the time. And I don't want to do that all the time, you know. All right, so let me clean my brush. Just put my gel medium away so it doesn't dry up on me. All right, and I'm going to do a quick dry on this, but it really doesn't take that long because cardboard absorbs the moisture really quick, as well as the paper. So usually it's the non-porous surfaces that take longer to dry. Well, that really didn't take any time at all, but okay. Because it's on cardboard, it starts curling up. Just going to uncurl. Now just make sure it's glued before you do anything. So it's not lifting up, so it's glued, so that's good. So I know it's ready to go. Now you're going to get a clean sponge here with water, and I'll use this as my clean paper towel. And so all you want to do is just moisten the back. Okay, make sure it absorbs the water. That way it releases the coating with the image on it. And then I take the excess off. And it should peel off. Most of it will anyway. All right, doing it on cardboard, not the best. I'm tearing the cardboard up, but I think this will demonstrate well enough. All right, so we've transferred that without the white paint. It's a little messy because cardboard is paper, so peeling paper away from paper, it's not exactly the strongest substrate to do this on, but you can do it. What I like to do sometimes is I'll treat it first with some kind of glue or whatever and let it dry and give me a nice hard surface, and then I'll transfer on top of that if I'm doing a journal or something, which I don't really do journals, but I've done a few to kind of demonstrate for those interested in putting photos and images in their journals. Another video. Okay, and now we're going to do this one that had the white paint. All right. And hopefully it'll come off nice and easy for us. Okay, a lot easier. Let me get a corner started here so I can pull it off. All right, so anyway, there we go. I have to do a few pills here to get it done, but it's done. All right, now I think this should demonstrate to you clearly the difference. Take a look at that. Notice that wherever the white letters are, that it actually ends up being the color of the background. Also notice that the yellow and the purple is duller than it is here. Notice how clean and colorful the purple is. Notice the oranges or gold, whatever you want to call this. They call it Laker gold. Notice how that is really nice and sharp. So you get this very vibrant look because the background is white and the letters are white because it's showing the paint through where there's no toner. Because your laser printer will likely not have white toner. The white you see on the image is actually just the white of the paper it's printed on. That's all it is. And so when you transfer your image, you're not transferring anything where there's white. Now there are some laser printers that have white toner. They're made specifically for making transfers for t-shirts, and signs and things like that. But for 95% of us out there with laser printers, we do not have a white toner, all right? And so if you want to transfer white onto a surface that's not white, then you may want to use white paint so that you can get true white. And not only that, but the background won't bleed through your colors because the toner is not 100% opaque. So the dark background is going to dull your colors, where notice here, the colors are all vibrant and the letters are all white. So I certainly hope that this helps you to understand why I choose, when doing some wood slices, that I would, if I have white in my photograph, I would rather have the picture vibrant. I'd rather have the whites white instead of having the wood grain, the brown, the tree lines, where the growth lines and all that showing through my image. Some people might like that. That's fine. Don't use white paint. Otherwise, you could either do the surface of the tree, the wood slice, or this or whatever, or you can do like I did and just spray white on the image itself, let it dry before you glue and transfer the image. All right, I hope you like this demonstration. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and click that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.